darangayap, darangayap, yo, darangayap, 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 yo, darangayap.
Buckle up, because energy in this coffee time studio is about to go off the charts. You've heard the voice, you've felt the rhythm. But today you get something rare, a front row seat to the mind behind the music.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Hussein Dada is the guest today, ladies and gentlemen, and a very popular name within this building, West Coast Radio, because since we released the flyer of today's program yesterday ahead of today's meeting, my junior colleagues, the much younger ones, haven't stopped playing his music to one another. Good morning and welcome, Dada.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here. Seeing and heard a lot about this show. And then, being here, like I said, I'm just honored. And then thanks to all, I want to say a big thanks to all the listeners out there. Balbe Kontonal Tola. It's your boy Hussein Dada. We in the building today.
Feel free with any Gambian language. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the person. I mean, who is Hussein Dada?
Well, Hussein Dada is a Gambian rapper. My name is Hussein Cisse. And then we are originally from Basedam Fakunda. But I've actually did almost all my life in Sukuta. And then that's why I use the slogan, Sukuta Boyo. Whoever knows Hussein Dada. And then if you're familiar with Sukuta, whenever you have to say music, when it comes to Sukuta, the first name that will come to your mind will be Hussein Dada, because I've actually, built that foundation. And then, they have been very supportive from the very beginning, since 2016 till date.
And how did you come into the music scene?
Coming into the music, back in 2015, I used to work at a bet station. Okay. So after high school, because I graduated in 2014 at SOS High School, and then after that, we were sitting waiting for our WAS results. So I was like, let me just try and look for work, because I don't want to just be sitting. So I started working at a bet company, and then the government actually closed. They closed all bet stations at that point. So I was sitting and then figuring out what's next for me.
So this was during the Yaya Jammeh
era, yeah. Okay. This is during the Yaya Jammeh era. So I was sitting with a friend of mine, because back in high school, I used to do music, but I left due to family pressure. So
your family didn't like you.
They didn't like music. So I had to leave. Because then I was in high school doing music, and then the pressure was too much. And then music was in a career. It was just like fun, something that you like to do with a couple of your friends in high school. So when I left, that was back in 2013. So I wasn't doing music from 2013. So till when we were coming into 2016, then I wasn't working. I was just figuring out what's next for me. So then a friend of mine was like, you have talent in music. Why not we give it a shot? But when I was coming back into music, I only had we had one goal and one option. We was gonna come and do one mixtape and then leave. But then, that was just us fooling ourselves, because we thought it was gonna be something easy. So when when I came back in 2016, I did a song with Marcel, Mas 187, shout outs to him. I did a song with him called Burger. So when I did it, it started having attention. People started picking up with the song, because this is a song that's basically talking about just how people as youths normally want free things and don't want to work for it. But then you turn it into a rap, something that people can just vibe to, and then people love it. So after that, I started getting attention from here and there till, 4 months after that, I did my first show in Sukuta, La Parada, and then the tickets were $50, and then it was a successful show, so that was just giving me more courage. But now the problem was back home, they started realizing he's back in the music. So now I had to look at it as, do I want to continue or do I want to leave? Because it was a lot of pressure. So you have to choose between sticking with your family or sticking with the music.
Sure.
And when I say family, the younger ones in the family, because like I came from a very big family, like it's an extended family, it's a lot of us. So the younger ones, they support the music, but the older ones, they're not, like, and then you have to look at it that the older ones matter more than the younger ones. So, and then money wasn't flowing into the music like that.
That did not help at all.
Yeah, money wasn't flowing. And then, because like, you look at it, okay, I want to do this music, I got to go against my family, but then there is no money for me in this, but then after doing that first show, we kind of had a little change. So a little change was in the pocket, and then I was like, since there's a little change in here, maybe I could just try and give it two months and see if nothing changes. I'll just have to leave because I just started, so there's nothing to lose. So in those 2 months, I get contacted by a label. So I was like, man, is this God's sign that I don't have to leave? So when I signed with a label, things become much easier because now I'm not paying for recordings, I'm not paying for videos. Now at least every month I'm having a allowance that I could bring home.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, man, so now I'm not just doing this, but I'm getting something from it.
Okay.
So that kind of gave me more courage, like, because till date, my mom, like my most favorite person in the world.
I was going to ask, of the older members of the family, who were the most?
My mom, because my dad, he passed away since 2008.
Oh, except
yeah, so he's late. So my mom, till this date, she's not in the music, but like, she's just kind of in a zone. Like, she's not disturbing me with it, but still, I would sit and then she would be like, when are you going to leave this? I'm like,
she's still asking. Even though some bigger changes coming home.
Yeah, super bigger changes. But, like, she's too, like, into the religion, like, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that you cannot take from her. And I respect it 100%. But, you have to look at it in another point that, too, this is something that everything I've achieved in this life today, like putting apart from God, is the music. Because before music, I used to be in a very rough spot. Like, I used to be sitting and thinking about what's next. So this music has actually changed.
Did Backway ever cross your mind?
Nah. But my little brother, he went to Backway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's something that because
you never considered.
Nah, we not sea people because very happy, I'm so afraid of the sea. So yeah, that has never come to my mind.
Thank God, because you've stayed to become a very big, musician in this country.
Definitely.
All the young ones around are excited, and I'm sure you'll get to see a lot more of them by the time we finish this program. Who were your biggest influences in music? I mean, who did you grow up listening to that made you want to be them, if you like?
Okay, so when I was growing up, like my elder brothers, I see them listening to a lot of hip hop artists like the likes of Nelly, 50 Cent, Tupac sometimes. This is like from where I started loving music. I started loving music through hip hop. That's why, like, the genre that I love most in music is hip hop. And if you're gonna categorize Hussein as an artist, you're always gonna call him as a rapper because, like, that's what he started with. So, but then I had this cousin called M. Nizzo. He used to do music. And I used to be in his room 247 because through him is how I know Tam 50, them ST and them, like, because back in the days, they used to come there at home. And he used to be at the backyard, and then that's where I used to be. So he had a lot of beats in his computer. So I'll just, if he's not at home, I'll just be listening to different instrumentals and then just be rapping off head. So that's how I started. I didn't start it by writing. I started by just freestyling. That's how I started music. So like growing up, I used to listen to him. Like, let me just focus on the Gambian artists. I used to listen to him, Trouble Smalls, Tam 50, and then as the little years go by, G came in, ST came in, Bye Babu, Killer A's, and them. All of these guys, I used to listen to them because I was a very big fan of music, So I used to go to this open mics they be organizing on the streets before it even went to the stadium. I used to go there. When I used to meet these guys, it used to be unbelievable. Like, when I meet them, every time I go home, I used to be so excited, telling my little ones, today I met so-and-so. I'm like, I used to be a big fan. So till today, that's why when I see an upcoming artist and he's doing good, I just cannot help it. Normally, I will text you or I'll call you just to tell you how good of an artist you are. Because, like, other than being an artist, I'm a big fan of music in general.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what were your early days like? Okay, you've told us how your family was against.
Yeah.
But what challenges did you face, coming through?
Well, like, coming from an extended family, where most of your siblings, because like from my dad's side, we're like 30 something. I have 30 something siblings, but then most of them travel even before I became, before I grew up, like when I was very young, some of them travel. So like this is a little bit of thing that didn't bring that like, that relationship that, you guys can communicate on a frequently. So like growing up, that's how I grew up. And then when I was 14, I was like in a boarding school, like chronic boarding school in Mandinari. So even when my dad was passing away, I was at the boarding school. I could remember I just woke up in the morning and then they were like, you guys have to go back home. Usually when we are going back home, it's based on naming ceremonies or when an occasion happens back home. So we were so excited, like, yeah, today we're going back home, but in the car, I could see the guy saying that, one of our elders passed away and he mentioned my dad's name. So it became a shock because like that wasn't what I was expecting that we were going to go face at home. So when I went there, so after that, when my dad passed away, like 4 months after that was when we actually left the boarding school. And then I continued with Arabic school because I didn't do junior school in English. My junior school, I did it in Arabic. I did primary in English, junior Arabic, and then I did high school in English back. So like most of the things that I faced then is that I was more of an introvert, not the one that would be going out. Because even with the music, the people in Sukuta started knowing me as an artist, as a person, when I started doing music because I wasn't out there like that. So being home, you have a lot of challenges like with you because when I was young, like about 3 years old, I fell off a story building, like one deck. So when I fell, like, that kind of triggered.
What happened?
Well, it was a crazy story. Like,
was a stunt involved?
No, it wasn't a stunt. Like, okay. My elder brothers and my elder sisters, like, according to what they explained, because me, I can't remember none of this. So they were downstairs and I was upstairs. So I was standing on a table. So they were telling me to pick up a shoe, like, a shoe. So instead of me coming down and picking it up, I want to pick it up, as a little,
wow.
So that's how I felt. And then maybe I fainted and then they took me to the hospital. So I kind of think that's something that triggered some anxiety in me because ever since I know myself till this date, it's very difficult for me to sleep in a room alone because I be having different thoughts in my head and that. So like this are kind of the challenges that I had, that just made me lay back. I wasn't so socializing because like, I'll be at home just dealing with my stuffs on my own. So when I started doing music, helped me socialize more with people, sit with people and then like communicate. So, that kind of changed a lot of things.
And what do you hope to achieve with your music?
Well, with my music, I'm a voice. Like, I have a voice. With the music, I would like to like really unite my people, like with you Gambians, the youths. To tell them that there is no point in sitting. It doesn't matter how hard it is, but always try to like get up and get there. And get yourself going. So that's why most of the time when I'm on interviews or in my songs, I would like to talk about my stories so they can see that it didn't happen overnight. There were times that we will wake up like, and walk from our home to shows. Like when shows used to happen at Alliance Franco, I could remember when I was just an upcoming artist, I would like some of the shows, I wouldn't even have fear to pay to go to this show. So I would have to walk from Sukuta to Westfield, like, just to go and attend the show and then come back. Or sometimes you will go to these shows and want to perform, but then you wouldn't have they wouldn't have a platform for you. I could remember there's this artist that was a big artist then, and then I was familiar with him because like we knew each other back then, but then he had this show and I could remember calling him and I was like, I'm an upcoming artist, I want you to help me because like I want to be part of this show. And it was like, man, I wish I could help you, but right now the doors are closed and then, but then I'm not mad at him because like you could understand they had principles then.
Yeah.
Maybe when at that point I didn't understand that. I would have been mad at that point.
Were you mad?
I was super mad. Yeah. Every time I meet anybody, I'm like, man, this guy, he had a show, man. And I was trying to perform, but
without naming him, where's that guy today?
Well, today I could tell I'm way bigger than him.
Yeah. Has he come to you to ask to perform on your platform?
Well, like he has asked me on a couple of songs, but I did it, because like you gotta just respect the craft at the end of the day.
And how has your sound evolved over the years?
Well, my sound has evolved over the years as like coming from just rapping to focusing on what's commercially selling. Because like you could tell today, in the world we live in, rap is not really selling like that. It's more of a dying genre right now. Yeah. But then you could tell that now you're fusing your because like as a rapper, you are mostly a lyricist, because as rappers we write more than the normal singing person. So we have more to talk about than them. So if a rapper actually happens to master the art of singing, he becomes way better than the normal singer, because the normal singer doesn't write that much. So as somebody who writes too much, you have so much to talk about. So if you can turn that from a rapping to singing, so that's how my sound has evolved. Because like before, you only see him just rapping, but now you're seeing him fusing it with the singing, the Afro beats, and then all the other genres, even dancehall sometimes.
And how do you stay creatively inspired and motivated? What do you do?
Because the thing is, most of the problems that artists face is like having an ego to always work by yourself. Music, since from the inception, from the beginning till today, we have heard countless times that artists are working with other artists, they're working with songwriters, because this is what helps you like evolve your sound. Because as a human being, maybe you can't be productive for like 10 years. You can't be productive for 8 years, because it's your mind. And the more you go, you can't be singing about the same thing. So like dealing with different producers can come up with ideas that they could give you, like linking up with other people that could help you when it comes to like, you guys doing the songs together. This has actually helped me stay relevant till today.
Okay. And just before I go on to the next piece of music, if Hussein Cisse was not a musician today, what would he be?
I could be a lot of things.
Let's go through the list then.
Well, if the music wasn't there, most of the time, like I would want to be a banker. But things that I could be, that's not in my head, but were possibilities. I could be one of the boys on the streets. I could be one of the boys that's part of the nightlife. It's a lot of things that you could be that are not things that you wish you could have, but due to the fact that the society might push you towards it or influence, I could be a lot of things that might be for the bad, not for the good. I could be one of the boys that could just be outside, just smoking weed, just wishing that things could be better, but like, focusing on how I'm going to leave this country, because like there is nothing better but like abroad. Because like there's the things that when we were growing up, we thought that, without abroad, nothing is going to work for you. So this are some of the things that, I might be if the music didn't come about.
You seem to have some sympathy with, boys on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they have always been treated fairly by society in general?
I don't think they have been treated fairly with society. I could take myself as an example, because my first album, I named it Bad Boy Dada. And most of the people are like, but that's what we call you. That's your nickname, Bad Boy Dada. I'm like, yeah, but this Bad Boy Dada, I turned it into a concept. The concept was, okay, today you see somebody doing music, first thing your mind goes to, it's either a drug addict, it's either a womanizer, it's either part of the nightlife. This is automatically what they term you as. And this is the problem with this, mostly why our parents, or our relatives don't want us to get into music, because once you started doing music, these are the things that they attach to you. So the Bad Boy Dada actually is a concept that the society will call you a bad boy, not knowing underneath, on the low, what you are doing. Per se, today people will see you pray, like you go to the masjid, oh, what is he doing here? I'm like, bro, I'm a Muslim like you. So, that's my obligation, just like it's your obligation to be here. So this are kind of the things that society push. So if it's a youth that cannot handle it, it actually, like, you end up becoming what they thought you were, because like you see it as, no matter what I do, no matter what I try to actually do to change that concept, it's not actually working. So I'm just here as an example to tell you that, I'm not a smoker, I'm not part of the nightlife, I'm not all of that, and I'm still doing my music. And the biggest misconception people have about music is that artists cannot perform without getting high. This is something they have misled so many young artists with. I mean, if you smoke, you are slow. How can somebody slow be performing? And this drains your energy. So this is something I always tell the youths, that you don't have to smoke to be on the stage. You don't have to get high. You just have to be yourself, be in control. And once you're on the stage, it doesn't matter who else is listening to you, they will actually carry along.
Axel jam si Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta to dede. Luta mo nulo jel mo to nga andil mahalis. Hello?
Busol mo fine.
What?
Busol mo fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Busol mo fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
Kono diplomatic yo bebe larin Togo TJ, Joro TJ Mechol kakaranda menti chal TJ
Definitely a song I don't expect to jump into any minister's car or senior government official's car and hear blaring from the speakers. Do you think the music industry should play any role in reflecting societal issues and bringing about social change?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And if you ask me why, I'll tell you that the normal people that pays for your tickets to your shows are mostly affected by these things. So if you're not here representing them with your voice, then what are you doing? Because at the end of the day, music is a message, right? So the message needs to be correct. So this particular song, Mr. Government, is part of my international local album back in 2023. And then when you listen to the song, you could actually tell from everything that it's talking about is everything that was actually going on in the country at that particular time. And I could still say these are things that are still going on till today. And then when this song came out, a lot of people were like, for the first time, we have actually seen you dive into something like this. And why? I'm like, I'm an artist that actually relate to my fans, relate to the public a lot. Like, I talk to a lot of them. I've seen the problem. Like, it's unbelievable in 2025 alone how many people have actually showed some to my doorstep. Others will call me to just tell me how much of a struggle it is that they're going through. And every time stuff like this happen, it breaks my heart because I wish I had the power to actually make a big change in these people's life. But sometimes you can tell you don't have that power. But what you can do is to use your voice and actually speak about it so that one or two people out there can, actually bring the change that you guys are looking for.
And how many more songs like this have you done?
Well, I have done, this was the first one when it comes to talking about public issues. And then on my upcoming album, which is called Sanji Jelu, on my intro, I have a song there, and then that's exactly talking about the same issues. Some other songs, the songs is not like basically going to be talking about just this, but you will actually shed light in 1 or 2 or 3 lines on the songs.
Fantastic. And how do you feel about the current state of the music industry in the Gambia?
Well, the current state of the music industry in the Gambia, when it comes to Gambia, it's fantastic. But when it comes to global recognition, it's bad. And then the point that I'm trying to make here is that Gambian music needs music executives coming here. Like, we need Sunny Music coming here. We need Universal Music coming here. We need all of this, like, big record labels, whether it's from Africa, whether it's from the United States, whether it's from the UK, but we need big music record labels coming here and pumping money into the music industry, because that's the only way a big difference could come. I give you an example. Back in 2023, I was on a Europe tour, Germany, Netherlands, and then Italy. All of the shows that I played, 98 to 99% of the people that came to those shows are Gambians, which shows that the people that are actually consuming the music are mostly just Gambians. So the way that we can change that is to start having our songs on playlists. And how are we going to go about with that is to have people that actually have the channel that can channel our music into playlists on Spotify. Because like most of the artists are discovered on Spotify playlists or Apple Music playlists or whether Shazam, you can name them. Because once somebody just turn on the playlist, you come about different music. You just see one you like, you start playing over and over, you spread it to other people, and then this is how people discover music. And with Gambian music, it's different. So if we have this big music executives coming here, and pumping money into it, so the other parties in Gambia, now the music is heard everywhere. Anywhere you go, whether you meet the policeman, you meet the postman, whoever it is, once you just show your face, they're like, this that artist. Even in the, they don't know your name, but they know your face. So which means the music is enough in the country. But there is a saying that if you keep doing something over and over and over, and you're not passing, like you're not exceeding, like you're not actually pushing beyond that, what happens is that people will become tired. Like imagine every year I come and do the same stuff. Every year I come and do the same stuff. Every year I come and do the same stuff. And then people are just seeing me in that same level over and over and over. Because there was a time Jibo Balagay had this interview. He said something most of the people felt offended, but I saw a light in it. He said, as a Gambian artist, it comes to a point that you do. It comes to a point that you can't do more than that. And then what happens is that it's either now you are doing less better than before, or you are in the same position. And this is actually true. This is actually true. But we've seen over the years, like 2-3 years ago, we started seeing artists playing on summer jams in Germany. That's a great push. That's a great push. Maybe with that, executives can see that, whoa, man, Gambia, there's a big talent there, and they could start coming here, but slowly but surely.
Okay.
But I think this is the main problem with the music industry.
So Summer Jam is a good move, but what else will it take for big music executives to come to the Gambia?
Well, like the likes of Summer Jam, imagine we start playing in different festivals now, and then they're seeing that the sounds that we are playing, like the public or the audience, they love it. Because look at the likes of Jizzle, look at the likes of ST. When they went to Summer Jam, they did great. Especially like the last Summer Jam, it was a lot of people that came there to see ST play. And then, they loved it. His set was amazing. Jizzle's set was amazing. So let's say now people might start paying, those people in Germany might start paying attention to Gambian music. Like, what is in Gambia that's making this much people come here and show love to this artist? So maybe with that, we will start seeing few of them coming here to start seeing how the music is like. What's the production like? Maybe with that we could actually get ourselves deals out there.
Is there anything the government can do to help the music industry grow?
Well, what the government could do is to actually give us a copyright law. Because, for instance, today I can't register my music living in Gambia.
You can't.
I cannot do that. And then number two, if I drop a song and I have a distribution channel that posted it, if somebody in Gambia happens to see the video that I'm promoting and I actually tag it to my Facebook and Instagram, the sound will automatically go mute. Because why? Gambia is not recognized. So due to the fact that our songs are not being recognized outside, because they don't see Gambia as a market that music could survive in. So if the government are pushing for it, or they get people that can actually make it work, that will help us. Because today, if somebody is distributing my songs, I will tell him not to put the Facebook and then Instagram policy on it. Because most of the people listening to my song, they live in Gambia. People coming to my show, they live in Gambia. So if I'm promoting the song, they cannot hear what I'm saying. How can they actually go? Exactly. So that's a big problem that needs a change too as well.
Okay. You still have a music union, have you?
Yeah, we have a music union.
All right.
Yeah. I heard they're working on it.
They're working on it.
But I believe they will get there though.
What role does social media play in your career?
The biggest role. It for the negative, for the positive, but still social media for the positive,
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly. For be it positive, be it negative, social media is like the biggest promoting platform for anybody. Because years ago, artists will actually do a lot of work to come on radios, to promote shows, to have flyers posted on every wall in the Gambia. But today, you can make a single post and tens of thousands of people are seeing it. So you have to announce a show. You don't have to come on the radio to announce a show. You could just go to your social media and be like, my show was so-and-so date, and everybody will just tap into it. So social media, that's the key right there.
And how do you connect with your fans?
Well, I connect with them in so many ways. Connect with them on shows, backstages, or in my inbox. Because it doesn't matter who you are. If you text me, I'm replying you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You must spend hours texting back then, because your fan base would be in the
because
tens, if not hundreds of thousands.
I have this fear always in me that, what if they text me and I didn't reply? How would they feel? Because so many times I've seen fans turn into, an opposition.
Attackers.
Yeah, attackers, sorry. Just because a certain treatment. I could remember when I did my first big show in Q City. Show was successful. Okay, so I went to a beach. I was at the big side with one of my boys. Somebody called, I was passing by. Somebody called my name, but I didn't hear them. So I went and sat. This same person was a waitress, and then she came. She was like, from today, I will delete all your music in my phone. She didn't tell me the reason at first. Really? She was like, from today, I will delete all your music from my phone. I was like, but what have I done wrong? She's like, when you were coming, I called your name, and now you feel too big because you just had it sold out. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't even hear you. Now I'm like, I'm very sorry. Even if you want my number, I can give it to you. Just for her to just stay cool and not just go delete my songs in the phone.
Fantastic. So she spoke about you probably developing a fat head.
Exactly.
You just had a successful, show.
Yeah, that's why I always tell artists, after your big show, that's when you need to be very careful, because then people look at your character. Every mistake you do is now a problem. Before, nobody sees that because everybody is wishing for you to succeed. But once the big show has passed, now they look at your ego. Like, is he gonna grow shoulders? And this has actually affected a lot of artists in Gambia, though.
So you like being on stage?
A lot.
Yeah.
When I'm on stage, I'm in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I might feel a little nervous, like
I was going to ask.
Backstage. But once I'm on that stage, the bigger the crowd, the bigger my energy.
Can nervousness be a motivator?
Yeah.
Does it motivate you to go there and give? And what does it signify that you take your fans seriously? You are afraid of not performing. That's why you are nervous.
Well, it has never got to that. But at some point, when I'm on stage and the crowd is not too many, like, it kind of kills the spirit a little. Like, you hyping up a show, and then you actually, like, you wishing that a lot of people are going to show up.
Sure, of course.
But a lot of people didn't show up, and now you are trying to actually entertain the little bit of people that are there because they paid their tickets to come see you. So that kind of dulls the energy. But with me, the bigger the crowd, the bigger my energy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the bigger. And one thing, these shades, they help a lot because eye contact, I'm not good at that. So that's why
you're not the first to be in the studio.
Even during night, when it's so dark, people are like, "Do you have a night vision with this shade?" Because you always coming with this darkest. I'm like, now I'm used to it because sometimes it's for the flash. People are taking pictures or eye contact. That's mostly the main reason. Yeah.
Let's talk about success. What does success mean to Hussein Dada?
Well, what success means to me is to actually share with the people that are less privileged. Success will never actually put me to a point in a position that I will look low on people. Success will actually help me reflect on the past days, how it used to be, and then now how you will react upon it.
And in terms of your aspirations, where would you like your music to be, let's say 5 years from today?
Well, I could say 5 years ago, they asked me the same question in the interview. In general, I want my music to go global. I would like, the likes of big music produce. I would like to be in studios with big producers that will be telling me that, your songs, we listen to them and we love it. I would just want the music to be heard worldwide. I would want the music to be played, on big stages, big festivals, big occasions that people could see that, they have been through it, but now today they're here.
And what big producers would you, could you probably be dreaming of working with one day?
Well, like, producers like Dr. Dre.
Oh, that is big.
Mike Will made it. Like, all these guys, like, this are people that once you listen to their production, you're like, my God, man. I wish our production could sound like this. And when you go to Nigeria, you look at the likes of Don Jazzy, you look at the likes of Mastercraft, you look at this guy who always used to say Uber in his songs, Blaze. Like, I love his production. And I could say over the years, he's just taken over the music, like the Nigerian music industry. With every hit song is Blaze. Every hit song is either him or P Prime. These are all guys that I would like to work with because their production is just next level.
Okay, and who are you working with right now?
Well, right now I'm working with Seka Beats.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a fantastic producer. And, me and Seka Beats, I've seen him doing his stuff. I've seen him doing very great. But then earlier this year, Abu and Fafa, shout outs to them. They've been in the industry for long. Like, when I was a very young boy, I used to listen to them. So at the beginning of the year, they wanted me on a song. And then Seka Beats was to do the recording. I didn't know Seka used to do recording, mixing, and mastering. Mm-hmm. I knew him for just doing beats. But when we went to his studio, I saw a lot of development. This studio has developed. He has sound cards, new mic. So when we started recording, I love the way the output that the song is like, is giving my voice, like the mic. So I was like, from this day, I want to start coming here. And it will shock you that today, I'm always there every day. Sometimes I want to come, he will even tell me, nah, man, you're coming here a lot. You understand? Like, because I want to be there. Like, I want to keep tapping into new. And then the good thing is he used to be an artist, but he has never done music. So he's somebody that, he communicates with you, help you, put these songs in order. So today he's mainly the producer I'm working with for now.
And when you go on stage, do you go on stage with a band? Or,
no.
Or you just do playback?
Playback, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I do playback. Okay, this has actually gone to a point that a lot of people are like, why don't Hussein Dada do live band?
Yeah.
Okay, like, I would just state it, like, plainly. The live band performances that I've witnessed, mostly in the Gambia, I'm not very impressed.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you're not very impressed, with the live band that's been playing, and then you happen to be one playing on it, because I've played a couple of live band shows, shows that, like, basically they're just live band. You cannot play anything that's not live band. So I look at the sounds that I do. Are these sounds that people could actually, like, drum on, that is going to satisfy me to a point that I would say, wow, man, this is amazing. So if I'm going to start doing live band strictly, I will have my own band that I'm practicing with, maybe weekly or daily or in days. Because the difference there is, if you were doing a practice with a live band for a show, y'all would do all the practice perfect, but on the day of the show, they might forget some of the things because, like, you're not constantly practicing with them. So that actually happens a lot of times, that you'll be performing a certain songs and some keys will be going off. And then this becomes a problem for you. So this has been, but this year, we might introduce a live band on my upcoming show on the 13th of December, inshallah.
Okay. Live bands seem to be rare now from your explanation. Is that because Gambians are not learning to play instruments or what?
Well, I think that might be part of it. Because the main problem with Gambian music in general, like artists, we just wake up in the morning and we are artists. We don't learn about, you might ask me so many things about instruments, I wouldn't know a thing. Like, I saw an interview that Barham did at some point, and then every question they ask him about instruments, he's just answering it. I'm like, how did he know all of this? Then you come to realize that this guy has been actually practicing, and then he's been actually exploring more in music than I am doing. So which means disappoints that we actually need to start. As an artist, you need to know how to produce. You need to learn instruments, because this will actually help you, even if not in Gambia, but if you leave, because most of the artists in Nigeria, I came to realize that most of them started as producers, and then they ended up becoming an artist.
Okay. Earlier on, I asked you about success. I'm going to ask you now about fame.
Yeah.
How do you balance fame? You're very famous.
Yeah.
With privacy.
Well, fame is sometimes something that pisses you off. Because if you're famous, people cannot tell when you are having a bad day or when you are having a good day. Like, for example, you're just going to be sitting in your car and then your windows are wind down. Somebody will just come and tap you, hey, start a conversation. But you might not be in the mood, but you will have to fake it. So fame comes with a lot of like burden because like everybody is in your DMs are always full. People are trying to contact you. You know, these are things that sometimes, and then the worst part of it is when things are not going your way. You know, this is when, like, if you're an artist, this is when you completely lose it. Like, you used to be a big artist, and now you feel like people are not really consuming the music like they used to. You know, now you feel like your position is not, like, you're not in that same position anymore. And what it does is, like, it makes you depressed. Like, you think a lot. You know, today, if I fail, these people, are they going to be laughing at me? Are they, like, so that's why fame, at some point, if anybody comes to me, they're like, I want to be an artist, I'm like, go and think about it properly. You know, because if you know what this actually comes with, you know, it comes with a lot of weight. Like, you will get on social media today, people are criticizing you. You know, you get on social media today, people are talking about stuff, they're talking stuffs about you that you don't even know about yourself. You know, people just sit down and just create stuffs around you, stuffs that are not true, stuffs that will actually get to you. Sometimes you will just stay mute because, like, talking about it is actually giving it more light. Talking about it is giving it more attention. So you will have to keep quiet and just be there, like, just, you know, taking everything in. Because as time goes on, it will all fade. But fame comes with a lot of pressure towards somebody.
You told us the example of this waiter that called you.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't hear her calling you.
Exactly.
And then she came and literally attacked you.
Yeah.
I'm going to delete all your music from da. So how do you deal with hostile fans?
Well, like, of recent, I've been having a lot of that.
Oh, tough luck.
Somebody will just come in my DM and insult me for no reason. Oh. Yeah, like, I'm like, I just delete the message. I don't even reply because I'm like, what am I replying to? You know, sometimes you just need to know how to control your emotions. You know, and then as an artist, if you allow your emotions to take control all of the time, it's a bad step for you. Because if you are angry, whatever it is that you do at that point, you might regret most of the time. If I'm angry right now, I say some stuff, I might go and say to them like, oh man, did I overreact? Did I overdo it? So this is something that you need to know how to control because, like, what you are doing comes with it. Mm-hmm. It's not everybody is going to love your music. It's not everybody is going to love what you're talking about on the song. So sometimes you talk about stuff people feel like, nah, you're talking against us, so they actually come at you. And then the easiest way they can do it is maybe they meet with you, they tell you stuff that are going to make you angry, or they come in your DMs and then insult you.
Young people who look, well, younger artists, I mean, you're still young, younger aspiring musicians who come to you for advice.
Yeah.
You've just said a bit about that. You know, what really do you know, what message do you have for them?
Well, what I tell them is, like, it takes one song for you to be known, and then quality is always better than quantity. You know, today you could be an artist, you could be in the studio working on 10,000 songs, and this 10,000 songs they're gonna be meaningless and they're gonna be worthless. They're not gonna help you to gain anything. But you could be in the studio working on a song for 5 months, and it's the actual song that's gonna blow you. Because, like, the more you can be doing music, like, you could be. We've seen artists, they've done music for 10 years, and then in their 10th year is when they blew. We've seen artists that have done music in their first month, they blew because the locks are in the same. So what I actually tell them all the time is to stay connected to what you were doing. Stay true to your craft. Don't do music that you feel like people are going to love, and then you're going to lose yourself in it. I've seen an instance where people just do music because they feel like this is what the people are going to love.
Yeah, but that's the advice you hear. Play music that the people, you know, want to listen to.
So you do it now. The problem becomes how to maintain that, because it's not you. You might get lucky and have one good one. So now how to maintain it. This is how we have so many one-hit wonders, because you look at the world of music today, we have so many one-hit wonders. Maybe that's not the song they used to do it, but they were lucky to have that one sound, and then they put it out and then people love it. But now to have another sound that can match up with that, you can't. That's how they end up calling you a one-hit wonder.
So be real.
Yeah, be real. whatever you do, be real. Because before you become an artist, you didn't come to anybody for validity. Like, you wasn't seeking validation from anybody. You told yourself that I have this in me and I can do it. So why do you need somebody to tell you that this sound that you're doing, keep doing it? If you are really good, like if you're good, one day it's gonna pay off.
I was told by the girls that you invented a popular saying that everybody says now. In fact, one time I was in church, and even my priest said it.
Yeah.
He just said that, he just got up and said, Kizitonga yap. Martin would remember. So, and they told me that you started,
they could say,
that slogan.
They could say I made it famous.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was a street slang even before, because that song called Dadanga Yep came from the streets. Because I could remember every show that I go to, little kids be like, hey, Dadanga Yep, yep, correct, Dadanga Yep. So I'm like, I didn't pay much attention to it. But I went to Jara Summer for the show.
Yeah.
The kids there, this back in 2022, hey, Dadanga Yep, yep. I'm like, to my guys, we need to make this a song. So we were just sitting down playing different beats, and then the right one came. And we're like, this is the one. The moment we recorded it, I was so in a rush that I posted it even without the confirmation of my team. And then it just blew up. Like that very moment, it just blew. The girls, the boys, everybody was on the wave.
Well, the girls here told me that you invented it. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the list that Ibrahim supplied to me. So
because the songs that we actually send, because like you're looking at maybe an older audience, and then these are songs that maybe.
Yeah.
So when he told me about the songs, I'm like, I don't want to go play any songs that tomorrow somebody's going to tell me, like, why did you do that song?
Exactly.
So that's why we just send the songs that we feel like, the older audience can listen to, and then they could still tap into it.
That's very thoughtful. All right, let's listen to this.
You like a family to me, I keep the energy growing. Shout outs to the SDs and the Jizzle and G's, to the Attacks and the Vipers and the Monday Maurice, to the Smalls and the Mafios.
You seem to appreciate everybody. How important is that?
Well, actually, this is the intro to my 2013, that international local album track. So, coming towards this song, when I was writing it, I did a song and released it, and I had so much backlash from that song. Like the public, they were like, "Nah, man, how can you pull up? How can you come up with a song like this? This song is trash. Is this?" So
was it trash because of the lyrics or the music?
Well, they said the music. So, but to me, what actually hurt me was that I was so confident about that song.
Oh.
I was like, man, this song is gonna come out and people are gonna love it, because it's more like the Dadanga Yep song, like that same type of energy. So when that happened, when I was on Twitter, and then people were just bashing me left, right. So that night, I was just with my wife, and then I was so hurt. Like, I'm like, man, today they really got me. So I was just sitting and I was like to my wife that I want to write a song. I want to prove to these guys that whatever it is that they're saying about me, that's not me. So I was just there because there was no light at that point. So I went in the car and then connected to the Bluetooth, and then I was just going through beats on YouTube, and then this particular beat came. And then I started rapping on it. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, on this song, I'm going to name like 5 artists that I'm going to just like send praise towards. And that was the first 5 artists you heard on the song. Those were the only names that I had in mind. But when I did that, my wife was like, if you put 5 artists, those that you're not going to put, they're going to actually see this. Like, they're going to actually like feel maybe otherwise.
They say in wall of Gis and Bopper.
Exactly. Yeah. So when she told me that, I'm like, you made a point. I'm like, now let me just go 10. When I did 10, she's like, the rest is gonna see, like they're gonna feel offended. I'm like, let me go 15. Yeah. This is how I kept going till I think to 50 or 60 something.
Oh wow, artists. Well done.
Yeah. Some of the guys that are not even mentioned will actually meet me like, boy, the song but they're going to sing Baba over there. I'm like, bro, but I said shout out to every Gambian artist.
You should do a part two of the song.
Yeah, so this song was more about calling for unity, amongst artists, to tell them that we're the power. We're the ones they listen to and stuff like that.
Why do you have to call for unity among artists? Is there some element of disunity?
Oh, man, it's always been like that. As rappers, everybody feels like somebody's coming for your spot. So this is a spot. So, people are just... But sometimes, if it's just the basic, like, rap rivalry, that's understandable. But if it goes to personal level, that's when I feel like,
And is there a lot of that in the industry?
Yeah, it's a lot of that. Even recently, it's more less. It's more less. But then it used to be more of that in the industry, like when people would take all this rap beefs personally and all of that.
Okay, listen. The last question I have for you is, what closing message would you have for your fans?
Well, for my fans, I'll tell them to support Gambian music, support anything Gambian, because like you might have a favorite, but at the end of the day, we are all Gambians, and as a Gambian, you always have to be a Gambian. So love, like, let's put the music aside. Let's love our country. Let's do best for our country. Let's talk good about our country. Let's stand up for what's right always when it comes to something that will benefit this country. So like that's always what I tell the fans, to always stay positive and always say no to negativity.
Fantastic. And since you didn't provide the song, I'm going to ask you to give me a taste of Dada Yap. So over to you. That's how we're closing the program this morning.
Nimbo seleta stage kanyil nyale kama. Everything lit, so expensive. Ndalbo kama. Nina damen kilinyil beya lo musubale kana. Nying highway mo buka wutu no jantel tale kata. Darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, yo darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, yo darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, yo darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, darangay yap, yo darangay yap. We in the building. Thanks for listening. It's your boy Dada. December 13, we catch up at GCCI grounds.
Fantastic. Dada, thanks for your time.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Suway.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello? Ano lay waxal?
Bisul mo fine.
What?
Bisul mo fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Bisul mo fine? Wave, your money is yours.